A Man's Journey. Today we're talking about gender-based violence. Welcome, my name is Mo.
And I'm Tshepo. So today we'll be heading out to NECDAM to hear on the programs and how they assist in terms of gender-based violence within our community. Masks?
Check.
Check.
Sanitizer?
Sorted.
Check.
Let's head out.
Let's head out.
Okay, thank you for joining us today on A Man's Journey. My name is Tshepo and today I'm here with
Mo. We out here in the streets, we're talking about gender-based violence in the communities because people need to be made aware of these things. It's actually a reality. It happens in our home, actually. We got our sanitizer. Let's sanitize first. We also have to talk. We're here with NECDAM, an organization in the community. They have awareness programs for all issues in the communities. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Shelton. We at NECDAM, we a prevention program as well as an awareness program. Like Mo said, we deal with gender-based violence and HIV and AIDS, but we also a referral program. We are funded by USAID and we subcontractors of CCI.
My name is Royston Lebon and a facilitator with NECDAM. We work in the community of Westbury with issues of gender-based violence, behavioral changes also concerning gender norms that has been practiced in our communities for centuries. We give the necessary tools and the knowledge for them to change the ways that they were brought up and the men that they've become, especially the women as well. We deal with women also. We also do referrals to clinics or hospitals where there's HIV prevention treatment, as well as forms of treatment for STIs, STDs, as well as issuing condoms and keeping the environment, keeping the people safe at least. Yeah. Ian?
And I'm Ian, one of us facilitators at NECDAM. Well, currently we are running a program called Stepping Stone, and we'd like you to join us. We have a target audience right now is from the ages of 15 to 19 and 20 to 24. So the purpose of this is really just to create an awareness and put measures in place to help those that are unable to help themselves so that we can prevent and build a better society. And together we are with One Man's Journey, so a man's journey. So you can imagine that we need to also reach out to young men so that going into the future there's no repetition of all these things that we are seeing in our country. So please come and join us. You'll find us at corner Statler and Dowling at the Masters Field. We are doing some registration for now. The program is free. You must come in. It's a 10-day program, but you must please come and join us. It's not the whole day. So when you come, it's not a whole day program. But most importantly, please be aware that it's a free program. And as Shelton has mentioned, we are a referral point as well, where we can help you, refer you to places where you need and you can get help from. So thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. We really do appreciate having you here with us.
Sure.
Now, today we'd actually like to speak about gender-based violence. I believe we all know gender-based violence is something which is affecting a lot of people in our communities today, especially our women. In terms of services that help our women with, as you said, you do referrals, you have programs which help. In terms of those programs, how can people get into contact with you and what kind of programs do you actually have to alleviate gender-based violence?
Like Ian mentioned, we do refer. So for now, we know of one at the Sophia Town Police Station,
Okay.
where there is an office or a center where these women can be helped as well as the children can be helped. So all you do is you go to the police station. Who's the Jillian? Jillian is the contact person. So when you go to the police station, ask for Jillian, and yeah, you'll get further help from there.
And also our program is geared in intervention. So what we do is we are facilitating the youth, young men and women. We're going to be facilitating them and giving them a step-by-step course as to how to digress from the thought pattern that we have been taught as youth at growing up, how to come back from that mindset. And the program that we offer them is called Stepping Stone. So within that program, we are able to then dissect all the necessary social ills that they've been engaging in for all their lives. So yeah.
I believe also you have a march which you run that also deals with gender-based violence. Can you please elaborate a bit further on that also?
It was also geared towards gender-based violence, um, and obviously it was spurred on by the fact that too many women in South Africa are losing their lives, and not only that, we are part and parcel as men standing by and watching these things happen when we know the sometimes we know the perpetrators, or we not only that we know the perpetrators, we sometimes speak in our friendship circles about how to degrade women, how to disrespect women, which is wrong. And those are the ills in our society that leads men to do these heinous things to women. So what that is what these young men decided to, you know, stand apart from. They don't want to be known as a group of young men who has grown up like their fathers were. They want to make a change, and they're tired of it. And then they just started grabbing sheets and banners and paint and making banners and started a march. So it's grown since then, because now they will be a part and parcel of adding their voices to a bigger struggle, which is now there's another movement called the Black Duke movement, which we are in Westbury are also going to support. Nick Dam is also all our whole team will be also behind supporting and chanting that slogans of stop GBV and stop using women and children. So those are the issues that is really strongly right now facing our communities and our society as a whole.
Have you guys actually come across instances where somebody spoke out and said, you know what, I'm being abused, or somebody has been referred to and said, you know that Uncle John over there, he beats his wife? Have there been instances like that?
One of the people, I'm not going to mention any
You don't have
names,
to mention names.
one of the recruitments actually, she reached out to me. She said the reason why she wants to be part of our program is because she comes from it, you know. So she decided to stand up, and like she might not mention his name, but she's definitely going to stand up against whoever might, and educate us to look. You cannot stay in the situation. There is help.
Education is a big key, because not a lot of us are aware, because it's not what you're taught, it's what you're shown. So that is education. Like I saw my father beat my mother, you know, so I think that it must be like that. It has to be a reality. So how do I break that cycle? You know, a man's journey faces challenges, not man's journey itself, but uh, what we want to achieve. Actually, we want to achieve that we break that cycle. Your background don't matter. It doesn't matter if my father beated my mother. It doesn't matter. I'm going to make the change today.
Yes.
Today I want to make that
Yes,
stand.
exactly.
And I'm grateful for Nick Dam for what you guys are trying to do in the communities. Seeing that you guys are, on which communities are you guys actually working on?
We are currently covering the Westbury as well as Riverlea, which forms part of Region B. But Region B is far wider than just Westbury and Riverlea, so it goes as far as Cresta, Nuclear, Newlands, surrounding areas. So our target market is everybody around those areas. And like you mentioned, Mo, that we need to change what is called gender norms. We need to change the people's ideology of how things ought to be versus what is really happening. Gender-based violence is a reality, a sad reality, you know, and then we are where it has to start somewhere. So this is the areas that we are starting at currently.
Gentlemen, we do thank you for all the work that you are currently doing in the community. It's honestly a beautiful thing. We do hope that a lot of people will actually be able to take from this information and be able to come into Nick Dam, report these cases, and they'll be able to refer you also to the right people at police stations, also the programs
Clinics.
which they run, the clinics as well, to get you the help and assistance that you need to break the cycle. As men, we definitely have to break the cycle.
So let's have a woman's point of view on gender-based violence.
So we decided to bring Zaya and Talisha onto the show as well, so that they can give us their point of view in terms of gender-based violence, what they think about it, and possibly how they can help to alleviate it, or which kind of programs can help to alleviate it.
Good morning. My name is Zay Stevens. Thank you so much. All right, just my view on gender-based violence is that my reach out is actually there for the men. We know that men are also being abused, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally. So I would like to, for men to actually come out to break that silence, for them to know that it's okay to actually speak and come ask for help and assistance. So we want to equip them with knowledge as to how to empower themselves, how to break free from these kind of situations they might find themselves in.
I'm Talisha Mani. My view on gender-based violence is that it's not a nice thing, men and women. Speaking from a woman's point of view, I've seen a lot that has happened in my community with women abuse and gender-based violence, and it's not a good thing because it's not all the time that it happens indoors, but also mostly outside. So we should, I think that all men and women should be standing together, because I can't just say women, because men also get abused, as I said. So I think we should all stand together to make a difference in our community with every single body around us.
Can we get some motivation? Is there anything that you can say either to men or women for gender-based violence who are in that particular situation at this point in time?
My advice to women and to men is that they shouldn't stay in a relationship that is toxic. They should rather take themselves out of it or try and solve it, because most people that are married can't really take themselves out of a situation like that, but helping each other. So yeah, we here for each other. Women should stand for each other and men should also stand for each other.
Thank you. Anything, Zoe?
Yes, absolutely. Like I've said before, I think men should break free, break that silence, not think that it's a nut, like a stigma, and that they'll be judged in any way. So I really appeal to men to come forward and break the silence. We're here to equip you, to help you, to support you with the necessary help that you need.
Thank you guys for joining us today and giving us a bit of your input in terms of gender-based violence. Hopefully the message that you put out there as well will be able to save a life or save someone's family in the future. So we do
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We as men, we have to break the cycle because it starts with us. Because you might not be aware that you're being abusive, because abuse does comes from, it's a variety. It's not just one instance where physical, it could be mental abuse. Mental abuse is isolation. You're isolating that jealous need for a man, to suppress a woman's mind, her own thoughts. That is mental abuse. Then we get where physical abuse, where everybody knows what physical abuse is, where you beat up the woman. A man has strength. I'm not saying that a woman doesn't have strength, because a woman has strength to stay in a relationship, in a marriage like that. Her strength is actually bigger than that. She should actually step out and understand her worth, her value. Emotional abuse is when you are acting as a victim to the woman, showcasing that, look here, you are going out there, that is why I'm like this. You going out there, that's why I'm like this. That's why I beat you. You're blaming that woman for her things that she's doing. It's not her fault. It's not her thing. Look at yourself, where you come from. What is it about you as a man that can actually uplift this woman? Because two a woman and a man without a woman without a man, it's strength together rather than strength apart. If you have a strong woman by your side, you are strong yourself. And that is what every man needs to understand. It's not about suppressing that woman's feelings, hurting that woman. It's not about that. It's about growth. You can grow with that woman. You also get something called verbal abuse. Here in our communities, we find it a lot. Swearing at the woman. There's no need to swear. You can express yourself with just words. If you're angry, Rather step out, come back, and understand why were you angry, why were you fighting, if it's financial difficulties that you guys have, work it out together, understand what is this that we can work through. If you have a 10 rand, tell her, can you please stop spending the 10 rand and let's split the 10 rand into 3 days. Just an example. So stop blaming the woman for your problems. And the woman, you get gender-based violence is both ways. It goes both ways. It's not just the female that gets abused. The man also gets abused. He doesn't bring it up because it makes him feel less of a man. So we need to speak about those issues too. So a woman, verbal abuse, stop swearing at your man. Your man, stop swearing at the woman. Stop hitting each other, beating each other, women throwing things at the man. If you're angry, step out. Have that sense and find that mindset of yours back. Pull yourself towards yourself when you walk out of that house, so that you can understand where you come from. You understand you actually grew up like this. Do you want a life like this? Do you want your kids to have a life like this? And that is what we want to achieve today. That is why myself, Mo, and Tshepo is out here and speaking about gender-based violence. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nick, them, for their time.
I think basically what Mo is just trying to say, instead of being abusive and just thinking without, or doing things without any hesitation, we need to be able to reevaluate ourselves, reevaluate our emotions and our actions. That will be a big step in the way forward in terms of alleviating gender-based violence. Thank you for joining us today.